Come here, son, nephew, young man. Let me holler at you. You cannot try to shame, blame, and explain anybody into anything or even out of anything. When people have been presented with information, I would say twice, and that's actually a biblical principle. You can look in the book of Titus chapter 3 verse 10 for a particular verse that you can apply generally across the board in many different situations. But past a certain point, folks ain't trying to hear what you're talking about. They're going to do what they want to do. Most of the time because it makes them feel good. Feelings have become uber powerful in 2022. I've seen people's feelings lead them to drug addiction. I've seen people's feelings lead them to financial ruin. I've seen feelings in friendships and relationships. I've seen feelings turn people away from the God of the Bible. You can look at the first King Solomon as an example. He had the 700 wives who served the different gods. The Bible refers to them as strange women, and next thing you know, he found himself spiritually lost. You as a rational being, because if you're watching this channel, then you're probably a thinking person. Irrational and emotional people probably won't be watching content such as this. They probably would prefer to be entertained, like the young man was complaining about on TikTok, who I made the response video to yesterday. And that's okay. We're not here to judge people, but here's what you got to do for yourself. You have to understand when a person has totally given in to their feelings and when they're not trying to be rational, or whatever it is that has a grip on their mind or their soul is just not going to free them, or they don't want to be freed from it. I got 3 uncles who 2 have engineering degrees, 1 has a law degree. All 3 of them decided to start doing crack cocaine, and they all ended up homeless and desolate. You think nobody told them, hey, you shouldn't do drugs? These are doggone lawyers and engineers, man. That's what they wanted to do. You can't fix that. You can't stop that. You can't shame, blame, and explain that away. That shame, blame, and explain term, I'm using it as a general term. I'm not using it in this gender war that YouTube has going on. I'm not trying to be at war with no doggone females, but there's another guy who coined that term. You can look it up yourself. I'm not going to go into it. I'm just going to say that I can't take credit for making that term, but I am saying that as far as general logic is concerned, it is a tactic that people will use when they see people defy logic. But what you got to understand, bruh, these folks don't care about no dang on logic. They care about how they feel. People want to feel good even if it kills them. Literally. And here's the even sadder, more sad part. I don't know, sadder, more sad. I need to make sure I'm using that term correctly and fix my grammar. But you probably care about these people, you being a rational being who does their research and who attempts to look at how situations could turn out and calculate the odds of a situation going south and going bad for a person. You see the brick wall ahead of them and you're like, hey, that's a brick wall. But you need to recognize when somebody's basically saying, look, I want to hit the brick wall. Leave me alone and let me hit my brick wall. Make sure that you're not in the car with them. If they're going to hit the brick wall, position yourself so you're not going to die too. That's proverbial. I know it sounds vicious, but you need strong language for strong situations so you can strongly get yourself out of the way of the consequences of whatever somebody else has coming to them. And you need to continue your journey, because there's going to be a lot of dead bodies along the way. There's going to be some allies along the way who are unexpected. You might pick up some treasures along the way. You might reach down to see a bag because you think it's a treasure and it's got something that's harmful to you. And you be careful with those traps as well. Touch it with a long-handled stick. All that's proverbial, but apply it to life, because everything ain't going to be what you think it is. But you can't spend too much time trying to fix other people, because we got enough to deal with each day on our own as rational men. Keep improving yourself. Keep working. Keep accomplishing your goals. Keep your peace. Keep doing things that make sense. Keep your head low and keep preparing for what's coming, because the world is headed for a dark place before the return of the Messiah, and a lot of folks ain't gonna make it. You just thank God that he blessed you with discernment and with rational thought, because these days it's rare. Please like, share, and subscribe to the content. There's a lot of people out here who need that. I'm going by what people are telling me in the in the comment section. But, as an educator, I feel a sense of urgency, and I like to get information out, but I also understand that you can only do so much. So you can help me by hitting the like button, because it keeps me in the algorithm, hitting the share button because it shares the channel and keeps us in the algorithm and gets a message to other young men who may need it. Hit the subscribe button, because I do make content like this on a daily basis. I'm getting tongue-tied, and that's probably my sign to go. And as always, never lose the will to win and never lose the will to survive.